The battlefield of Kurukshetra echoed with a symphony of sounds. Chariots thundered, drums pounded, and warriors roared their battle cries. But amidst the cacophony, two sounds pierced through the chaos, pure and resonant. Lord Krishna, the divine charioteer, raised his conch shell Panchajanya to his lips. A deep, soul-stirring sound reverberated across the battlefield, a sound that spoke of righteousness and divine power. Beside him, Arjuna, the greatest archer, blew his celestial conch, Devadatta, its mighty roar echoing the divine call. The sound of these conch shells was not merely a call to arms. It was a proclamation of truth, a declaration of war against injustice. It was a message of hope for the Pandavas, the righteous warriors who stood against their own kin, the Kauravas who had succumbed to greed and treachery. As the divine notes of Panchajanya and Devadatta filled the air, the Pandava army felt a surge of courage, their spirits lifted by the presence of the divine. In stark contrast to the divine resonance of Krishna and Arjuna's conch shells, the Kaurava army responded with a discordant clamour. Their conch shells, though loud and numerous, lacked the divine resonance, their sounds harsh and jarring. Even the mighty conch of their respected elder, Bhishma, known as the Conch of Death, could not match the celestial music of Panchajanya and Devadatta. Bhishma, a warrior bound by duty and honour, blew his conch with a heavy heart. He knew the righteousness of the Pandavas' cause, yet he was bound to fight for the Kauravas. His conch shell, a symbol of his prowess and impending victory, seemed hollow in comparison to the divine instruments of Krishna and Arjuna. It was a reminder of the tragedy of war, where even the noblest souls were forced to take sides. The presence of Lord Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, was a beacon of hope for the Pandavas. On their side stood righteousness, Dharma, and the divine grace of Krishna himself. With them also stood Draupadi, their shared wife, an embodiment of Shakti, the divine feminine energy. She was their strength, their unwavering support, a constant reminder of the justice they fought for. Krishna, the master strategist, had chosen to be Arjuna's charioteer, not a warrior himself. This symbolized his role as the guide, the inner voice that leads one towards righteousness. His presence instilled an unshakable faith in the Pandavas, assuring them that they were not alone in their fight for justice. Section 4. Arjuna's invincible chariot, a gift from the gods. Arjuna's chariot, a gift from the fire god Agni, was no ordinary war machine. It was a symbol of divine protection, its swiftness and invincibility a testament to the gods' favor. Driven by the mighty steeds gifted by the wind god Vayu, the chariot could traverse any terrain with ease, making Arjuna an unstoppable force on the battlefield. The chariot, adorned with celestial weapons and banners, was a sight to behold. It was a constant reminder to both armies that the Pandavas were fighting a divinely ordained war, their victory preordained by the cosmic order. The very sight of Arjuna's chariot instilled fear in the hearts of the Kauravas, while bolstering the morale of the Pandava army. Section 5. The language of conch shells, whispers of victory and defeat. Each conch shell blown on the battlefield had its own unique voice, its own story to tell. Panchajanya, Krishna's conch, resonated with the power of the ocean, representing the vastness of his divine consciousness. Devadatta, Arjuna's conch, echoed with the roar of a lion, symbolizing his courage, strength, and unwavering focus. On the Kaurava side, Duryodhana, the eldest and the leader, blew his conch with arrogance and fury. His conch, a symbol of his blind ambition and lust for power, sounded harsh and grating. The other Kaurava brothers followed suit, their conch shells a cacophony of despair, reflecting the darkness that had consumed their hearts. Stay tuned for the next chapter of the epic saga, where the divine conch shells continue to shape the destiny of the warriors on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.